Elvis Presley's legacy is built on unforgettable performances, yet one concert stands out for being less about the magic and more about the business of being Elvis. In 1973, a double album recording of a concert became a bestseller, but it was far from his best work on stage. This album, later released in a legacy edition including a dress rehearsal, showed a different Elvis, one who was perhaps too polished, too cautious. The show itself was a curious mix. Elvis played songs he usually rocked out to, like Johnny Be Good and Whole Lotta Shackin' Goin' On, but he added new twists. He performed I Can't Stop Lovin' You, a song that wasn't part of his regular set, and included a medley of Long Tall Sally and Whole Lotta Shackin' Goin' On, showing he still had that wild spirit. Yet something was off. Elvis was on his best behavior, likely due to a large audience that didn't speak English, making him self-conscious about his English delivery. A key moment came when Elvis almost broke character to rap before Love Me, but he stopped himself. His performance of Suspicious Minds showed a rare glimpse of vulnerability, adding a personal touch to the song. However, his decision to skip a potential gospel moment showed he might have been under pressure to avoid religious themes for a global audience. The American trilogy shone brightly amidst these moments of hesitation. Elvis delivered it with passion, showing why this song was dear to him, but the real question was he truly himself? The set list was unusual, with songs like James Taylor's Steamroller Blues raising eyebrows with its suggestive lyrics. This was Elvis, after all, known for walking a fine line between the acceptable and the daring. Opening with C.C. Rider, Elvis seemed to struggle, performing a song he reportedly disliked. This was unlike the confident Elvis, who usually chose his hits carefully. The concert's set list varied from his usual Madison Square Garden shows, indicating a shift in his comfort zone or perhaps a strategic change. New songs made their debut, including You Gave Me a Mountain and Something by George Harrison. Some fans thought My Way was a nod to Frank Sinatra, but it was more than that. Elvis seemed to want to prove he could sing it better, showcasing his own style. After the concert, Elvis retreated, sleeping in for a whole day. This hinted at the heavy reliance on medication, a secret battle he fought. His return to big meals suggested a cycle that was all too familiar: work, medicate, overeat. The 1973 Grammy Awards showed Elvis was still a force to be reckoned with. He competed for Best Inspirational Performance and won, beating other strong contenders. This win was a testament to his enduring appeal, even in non-traditional musical spaces. In January 1973, Elvis was booked in Las Vegas but missed shows due to throat issues. This was a reminder of his human vulnerabilities, even as he maintained an image of invincibility. A violent incident at one of his shows where he threatened stage intruders showcased a side of Elvis that few got to see: protective and ready to defend his space with force. Colonel Parker's negotiations with RCA for a hefty sum highlighted the business side of Elvis's career. The deal locked Elvis into producing new music, a demand that would shape his final years. A trip to San Francisco for a karate championship showed Elvis's interests beyond music. Denied the chance to participate due to a contract, he watched from the sidelines, clearly frustrated. April brought a tour with a mix of highs and lows. Elvis was visibly struggling, overweight and groggy, yet he still managed moments of brilliance, like his rendition of Take Good Care of Her, a rare soft side that caught fans off guard. In Memphis, Elvis tried new material, including a poignant cover of Take Good Care of Her and a funky take on I've Got a Thing About You, Baby. He even tackled Roscoe Gordon's Just a Little Bit, though his detachment was clear. The session with Stax Studios musicians, including the arrival of Donald Duck Dunn and Al Jackson, hinted at new directions, even as the challenge of creating fresh material loomed large. Elvis's final nights of recording showed glimpses of the artist grappling with his craft, surrounded by talented musicians. It was a time of transition, where the king's reign was undisputed but the path ahead uncertain. As Elvis faced these challenges, one thing was clear: the legend would keep evolving, whether he was ready for it or not. In the summer, Elvis faced a tough start. His personal microphone was stolen, and his anger boiled over. He stormed out of a performance, leaving the stage in a fury. Felton Jarvis, his trusted aide, tried to keep the music going by recording some tracks that night and the next. But Elvis didn't return, and those songs remained unfinished. Throughout the summer, Elvis was on edge. He played 59 shows at the Las Vegas Hilton, but clashed with everyone around him. Things got physical. He had a wrestling match with a young woman in his hotel room, breaking her ankle, and hurt his own wrist while breaking karate boards. Despite these troubles, he added a late show one night and laughed so hard it seemed like a relief. A dispute with Tom Jones, a fellow performer, led to another incident. Elvis was playing "Killing Me Softly" with his song repeatedly at the piano. When he finished, his road manager, Chris Ellis, took the piano stool away, upsetting Elvis. The next day, Elvis bodyguards told Tom's representative that Chris needed to apologize, but Tom refused. When Tom learned of this, he asked Elvis to resolve the issue, but Elvis was not one to back down easily. Meanwhile, Elvis got a chance to mentor a new vocal group. J.D. Sumner's stepson Donnie had a background with the Stamps and formed his own group, Voice. Impressed by their range, Elvis decided to take them under his wing. He signed them to a lucrative contract, written on toilet paper, promising them $100,000 a year, and declared himself their manager. Back at RCA, Elvis was pushed to record again. They arranged for him to record in his living room in Palm Springs with a small group of musicians, including Tommy Hensley on bass and Donnie Sumner on piano. Donnie also brought along two members of Voice, Tim Beatty and Sean Nielsen. Elvis was taken with their voices and quickly signed them to his team, offering them a hefty contract. While Elvis was busy with new talent, his RCA contract demanded he start recording anew. They managed to squeeze a few songs into a session at his home, including "I Miss You," which Donnie had written, and a cover of "Are You Sincere?" Elvis added his smoky vocals and a bit of narration to the track. Felton Jarvis also got Elvis to lay down some vocals for "Sweet Angeline," a British song with a church-like quality that suited Elvis' gospel background. By September, Colonel Parker secured a new contract for Elvis appearances at the Hilton, switching from monthly to fortnightly engagements to better suit Elvis' demanding schedule. However, personal issues were mounting. Elvis and Priscilla were going through a divorce, and he was dealing with health problems. He was incontinent, impotent, and struggling with breathing issues, all while battling a painkiller addiction. Elvis' behavior became increasingly erratic. He shot at Graceland, narrowly missing Priscilla, and became a harsh critic on TV, even throwing food at the screen during a commercial break. He had a lackey, Hamburger James, deal with his trash, fearing it might contain compromising items. There were even incidents where he threatened violence, like when he confronted a waiterman, Jimmy Dean, with a Derringer. Despite his rough exterior, Elvis could be compassionate. When a backing singer, Joe Macchio, had his belongings stolen, Elvis promised to fix everything. He also showed flashes of creativity, like buying widescreen TVs for his studio to film a baseball match, then using the leftover hamburgers to feed the needy. In December 1973, Elvis returned to the Stax studio to record 28 new tracks. He bought widescreen TVs for the studio and even brought in hamburgers for everyone, though the plan fell apart when someone forgot to order food. Despite the chaos, they managed to record one song, "Talk About the Good Times," which had a lively feel, though it lacked Elvis' usual signature. Another song, "If That Isn't Love," showed Elvis' passion, and he even considered making an album of songs by gospel writer Dottie Rambo. Elvis Presley was a country music star who also loved to sing other styles of songs. He was very good, and many people loved his music. Sometimes, other songwriters wrote songs they thought Elvis would like, but those songs ended up being sung by other artists first. This happened with a song called "Help Me." Chris Christopherson and the Gatlin brothers wrote it first, but Chris and later Elvis Presley recorded it. Elvis also met Chris in Vegas, and they talked about life and music. Elvis liked some of his own songs that were recorded by others. He particularly loved Help Me and Bitter They Are, Harder They Fall, both originally written by Larry Gatlin. Elvis also enjoyed country songs by other artists, such as Jailhouse Rock by Jerry Lee Lewis and You Asked Me To by Waylon Jennings, which was actually written by Billy Joe Shaver. Elvis even recorded a song by Troy Seals called There's a Honky Tonk Angel, which later became a big hit after being recorded by Conway Twitty. Billy Ed Wheeler was another songwriter who knew Elvis personally. Wheeler wrote songs like It's Midnight and Coward of the County, which Elvis liked to sing. Once, Wheeler and his friend Lamar Fike went golfing with Jerry Chestnut, one of Elvis' associates. During their time together, Wheeler shared his songs with Lamar, who later took them to Elvis. Lamar even joked about how he didn't realize they were playing to professional rules until it was pointed out. Elvis had a knack for finding songs that matched his life experiences. For example, Loving Arms was originally recorded by Dobie Gray, but Elvis connected with it deeply, much like Chris Christopherson did. Another song, We Had It All, was initially considered by Elvis, but he changed his mind, fearing people would think it was about his ex-wife Priscilla. Instead, Rita Coolidge recorded it, and it became a hit. The song She Wears My Ring started as a Mexican tune and was later rewritten in English by Boudleaux and Fellis Bryant. Solomon King, under the name Alan Levy, had a hit with it in the UK, and later Ray Price made it popular in the US. Elvis might have liked this song too, given his love for unique and heartfelt ballads. Richard Harris was an Irish actor who had a great way of selling songs, even if he wasn't a great singer himself. He worked with songwriters Bill Martin and Phil Coulter to create My Boy, a song about divorce that resonated deeply with Elvis. After Harris performed it at a contest, Elvis recorded it, and it became very popular. Throughout his career, Elvis was open to different types of music and was willing to collaborate with various artists. His ability to connect with songs and share them with the world made him a legend in music. People continue to enjoy his songs because he sang from the heart, making every note meaningful and true.